The big TV show called Universal Stars was the most watched program across all 7 friendly star systems. A tall, colorful alien named Zetex ran the show. People from many different planets came to perform for trillions of viewers. Earth had only recently joined the Galactic Commonwealth. Many non-humans still thought Earth was a backward planet with simple culture. Frank Miller worked hard as the human representative on the Commonwealth Entertainment Committee. He fought to get Earth included in this season's broadcast. It was very important. If humans did well, Earth might join galactic society faster and open new talks with alien leaders. "We need something amazing," Frank told his helper, Olivia Bell, as they looked at possible contestants. "Something that only humans can do that will make them respect us." Finding the right person had been hard work. Thousands of talented people from Earth had tried out. But Frank was not happy with any of them. Every act seemed too much like what other aliens already did better or too Earth-specific for aliens to understand. 2 days before Earth was set to perform, something terrible happened. Their chosen performer, a woman who played violin very well, hurt herself and could not play. "We are done for," Frank said with a deep sigh, falling into his chair. "The Zorlians will use this to say we are not ready to join fully." Olivia was looking through her tablet when she stopped on a news story. "Maybe not," she said slowly. "Look at this." Frank watched a short video of an old woman being tricked on a local TV show. The hosts had pulled her from the crowd, saying a mind reader told them she was very good at piano and put her in front of a grand piano as a joke. "Keep watching," Olivia said. The woman, looking shy at first, carefully put her fingers on the keys. Then something changed in her face. Her hands began to move, and the music she played was so beautiful that everyone in the studio went quiet. "Her name is Eleanor Wright," Olivia said. "She is 87 years old. This report says she showed promise when young, but stopped formal training to raise her family. She has only played for herself for 60 years. Frank stared at the screen. "Get her, right now." Eleanor Wright lived by herself in a small house filled with pictures of her husband Gary, who had died, their children and grandchildren. When the doorbell rang that afternoon, she was watering her flowers, something she did every day to fill her quiet time. The young woman at the door looked like a professional but seemed nervous. "Mrs. Wright? I am Olivia Bell from the Commonwealth Entertainment Committee. Can I come in? It is rather important." Eleanor asked her to come inside, offered her tea, and listened with growing surprise as Olivia explained why she had come. "You want me to play piano in front of aliens?" Eleanor's voice shook. "Not just any performance, Mrs. Wright. This is Earth's first time on Universal Stars. Billions of beings across 7 systems will be watching. The talks between planets depend on it." Eleanor shook her head. "There must be thousands of better piano players." "We have seen what you can do," Olivia said, showing her the popular video from the local show. "That was not just good playing. There was something in your music that made people feel connected. That is what we need." Eleanor looked at her. Hands. The pain in her joints had been worse lately. "I am an old woman who plays for herself. I am not what you are looking for. The show is tomorrow night. A special ship will take you to the space station. You will be back home the next day," Olivia said. "Please, Mrs. Wright, think about what this could mean for humanity's future." After Olivia left, Eleanor sat at her old piano. Her fingers found the keys of a song she had made after Gary died, a way to talk to her sadness that she had never played for anyone else. She thought about her grandchildren and what kind of galaxy they would live in when they grew up. The next morning, Eleanor packed a small bag and waited on her porch for the ship to come. Frank was very busy as the Earth performance time got closer. He had spent the last day teaching Eleanor about the different aliens who would be watching and how the show worked. Now, 1 hour before she was set to play, he paced back and forth in the waiting room. "Just remember, many of these beings do not hear sound the same way we do," he said. "Some feel the vibrations, others sense the patterns in the air. The translation systems will help, but music is always hard to share across species." Eleanor nodded, but she was not really listening. She was thinking about the first time she had played piano as a little girl, how the sound had made her father smile, how she had wanted to keep playing forever. The Malovians are going to be the hardest to impress, Frank went on. They are born with 12 sound sacs in their bodies. They think human music is very simple. What should I play? Eleanor asked, her voice small. Frank handed her a tablet. Our scientists think this piece will work best. The pattern repeats in ways most aliens can understand. Eleanor looked at the sheet music on the screen. It was a famous classical piece. Pretty but empty of feeling. Not what she wanted to say. I think I will play something else, she said. Frank's eyes got wide. Mrs. Wright, we have studied what will work best with alien minds. Please just follow the plan. Eleanor put down the tablet. If I am going to show them what it means to be human, I need to be honest. I will play my own music. A young man with blue skin and 4 arms came into the room. 10 minutes until the Earth performance, he said, then left quickly. Frank looked like he might argue more, but then just sighed. It is too late to find someone else. Please just do your best. He turned to go. Mr. Miller, Eleanor called after him, do not worry. Music speaks to the heart, even if you do not have one in the same place we do. For the first time that day, Frank smiled a little. I hope you are right, Mrs. Wright, for all our sakes. Eleanor sat alone in the room, eyes closed, hands in her lap. In her mind, she was not on a space station. She was in her living room at home. Gary was sitting in his favorite chair. Her children were small again, playing on the floor. Outside, the sun was setting over the trees in their yard. The music was already playing in her head. All she needed to do was let it out. Earth performer, please come to the stage, a voice called from a speaker. Eleanor opened her eyes, stood up slowly, and walked toward the sound of a waiting crowd. Eleanor walked onto the big round stage. Lights from above made her squint. All around her in a huge circle were beings from many planets. Some looked almost human. Others had many arms, or glowed, or floated in bubbles. There were thousands of them, all watching her. The piano sat in the middle of the stage. It looked just like her old one at home, but newer and shinier. Eleanor felt very small as she walked toward it. The tall alien host, Zitex, spoke in a booming voice. Next, we have a human from the planet Earth. This old female will show us how humans make sounds with a machine. Some of the aliens made noises that sounded like laughing. Eleanor could hear whispers all around her. Is that their best? Such a small, weak being. Why did they send one at the end of its life cycle? Eleanor tried not to listen. She sat down at the piano bench and put her hands in her lap. She closed her eyes for a moment. In her mind, she was back home. Gary was there smiling at her. Play for me, Ellie, he would say. And she would. Eleanor opened her eyes and placed her old, bent fingers on the white keys. They felt cool and smooth. For a moment, she was not sure what to play. Then she remembered why she was here, to show these beings what humans were, what it meant to be human. She began to play. The first notes were soft and simple. A tune she had made up years ago when her first child was born. It was a song about love and worry and hope, how it felt to hold a tiny new person and know your heart now lived outside your body. As she played, she forgot about the aliens watching. She forgot about Frank and Olivia and the Commonwealth. She played about her life, about meeting Gary when they were both young, about their first small house with the leaky roof, about holding her babies and later her grandbabies. Her hands moved faster now. The music grew stronger. She played about hard times too, when money was tight, when Gary got sick the first time, when they almost lost their son in an accident. She played about fear and pain and getting through it. Some of the aliens were moving closer to the stage now. The air in the big room seemed to change. It felt heavy with feeling. Eleanor did not notice. She was deep in her music. Now she played, about growing older, about watching her children leave home, about seeing the world change around her. About slowly losing Gary, bit by bit, to the illness that finally took him. The last part of her song was about being alone, about quiet rooms and empty chairs, but also about peace, about looking back on a life well lived, about still finding beauty in small things. Morning light through a window, birds at her feet, the faces of her grandchildren. As she played the final notes, a tear slid down her cheek. She had never played this song for anyone before. It was her life laid bare on the keys. The music ended. The last note hung in the air. Eleanor sat still, her hands now in her lap again. The room was completely quiet. Then it started, a sound like thunder. The aliens were making all kinds of noises. Some were flashing bright colors. Others were shaking or jumping. Some were even changing shape. Tex's voice boomed out. The appreciation meters have broken. They cannot measure such a response. Eleanor looked around, confused. A small blue alien near the stage was moving in a strange way. She realized it was crying, though it had no eyes like humans. Frank ran onto the stage, his face full of shock and joy. "Mrs. Wright, you did it! You really did it!" "Did what?" Eleanor asked. Her hands were shaking now that she was done playing. "You broke the Commonwealth record for audience response," he said, helping her stand up. "No performer has ever scored this high. They love you." Eleanor looked out at the sea of alien faces, or what passed for faces on many of them. They were all focused on her, making signs of approval in many different ways. "I just played my song," she said. "Just played the truth." A tall, thin alien with skin like glass came up to the stage. It spoke in a voice that sounded like bells. "Human female, your sound making has caused me to experience what I believe you call emotions. I have lived for 300 years and never felt such things. How did you put these feelings into sounds?" Eleanor did not know how to answer. "I just played what it feels like to be me, to live a human life." More aliens were coming closer now. They all wanted to talk to her, to touch her hands, to ask questions. Frank was trying to keep them back. "Please give her space. She needs rest." Olivia appeared and helped Eleanor move toward the exit. "Mrs. Wright, do you understand what you have done? You have just changed how the entire Commonwealth sees humans." Eleanor was getting tired. Her hands hurt from playing so hard. "Can I go home now? My cat needs feeding." Olivia laughed, a sound of pure joy. "Soon, Mrs. Wright. But first, the Commonwealth Council wants to meet you." This is a historic moment. As they led her off the stage, Eleanor looked back at the piano. It seemed to glow under the lights. She thought about all the hours she had spent at her old piano at home, never thinking anyone would hear her music, never knowing that one day it would speak to beings from other worlds. In the green room behind the stage, other performers were waiting. The Malovian who had made fun of her earlier now bowed low. "Forgive my rudeness, human Eleanor. I did not understand." "That is all right," Eleanor said. "Music is how we understand each other." Frank was talking excitedly with some official-looking aliens in fancy clothes. "Yes, Earth is ready for full membership. Mrs. Wright has proven the unique value of human culture." Olivia brought Eleanor a cup of tea. "How do you feel?" Eleanor thought for a moment. "Tired. Happy. A little sad." She looked down at her wrinkled hands. "I wish Gary could have seen this. He always said I should play for others." "Your music touched everyone out there," Olivia said. "Some beings who don't even hear the way we do still felt something. The translation machines say they felt your life story." Eleanor sipped her tea. "What happens now?" "Everything changes," Frank said, coming back to them. "Earth will get new technology, new trade deals, new protections, all because of you." Eleanor smiled. "That is nice. But I meant, when can I go home?" Frank laughed. "Tomorrow, I promise, but tonight there will be a celebration in your honor. The start of a new era for humanity." Eleanor nodded, though she was not sure she wanted to be at a party. She was thinking, About her quiet house, her cat, her old piano. "Do you think," she asked, "they might like to hear another song sometime?" The next day, Eleanor sat in a big room with tall windows that looked out into space. Earth was a blue ball below them. Around a large table sat 12 beings from different planets. They were the Commonwealth Council, the leaders who made decisions for all the joined worlds. Frank stood next to Eleanor. He looked nervous. Olivia stood on her other side, ready to help if needed. "Human Eleanor," said a tall being with 4 arms and skin that looked like tree bark. "Your music has caused much talk among our people. Many of us did not think humans had anything special to share with the Commonwealth." "Thank you," Eleanor said, not sure if it was a compliment. "No one has ever seen the Quillari cry before," said another council member, a round being that glowed, soft blue. "Yet 3 Quillari were seen making water from their sensing organs during your performance." The being that looked like tree bark spoke again. "We wish to understand how you did this. Was it a special human power? A trick of your sound machine?" Eleanor shook her head. "No tricks. I just played what I feel. What I remember." "Explain," said a small being that looked like a cloud of purple smoke inside a glass ball. Eleanor thought, for a moment. How could she explain music to beings who might not understand human emotions? "When I play," she said slowly, "I think about my life, about people I loved, about happy times and sad times. The music is like the sound of my heart remembering." The council members looked at each other. Some made strange movements with their bodies that Eleanor could not understand. "Human Frank," said the tree bark being. "You said all humans can do this?" Frank stepped forward. "Not all humans can play like Mrs. Wright, but all humans make art. We sing, we paint, we tell stories. We put our feelings into things we create." "Fascinating," said the glowing blue being. "Our research did not show this ability in humans. We thought you were only good at making tools and fighting." "We do those things too," Frank said with a small smile. "But making art is just as important to us." The purple smoke being moved closer to Eleanor. "Human Eleanor, would you be willing to play for other beings, to help us understand humans better?" Eleanor looked at Frank. She was tired and wanted to go home, but she also knew this was important. "I can play a few more times," she said, "but then I need to go home to my cat and my garden." The council seemed happy with this. They talked among themselves in sounds Eleanor could not understand. Then, the tree bark being spoke to everyone. "The council has made a decision. Earth will be given full membership in the Commonwealth. Human music and art will be shared with all worlds. And we will send teachers to Earth to learn how humans create such powerful sounds." Frank looked like he might faint from happiness. Olivia squeezed Eleanor's hand. This was better than they had hoped for. "There is more," said the glowing blue being. "We wish to give Earth a gift. New medical technology that will help your people live longer, healthier lives. And we wish to give a special gift to human Eleanor." Eleanor looked up in surprise. "A gift for me?" The purple smoke swirled inside its glass ball. "Yes. We can help your hands work better. No more pain when you play." Eleanor looked down at her. Old hands. The fingers were bent from years of hard work and arthritis. They did hurt when she played for too long. "That would be nice," she said. "Thank you." After the meeting, Frank was so excited he could barely speak. "Do you understand what you have done? Earth just jumped ahead 50 years in one day. The medical technology alone will save millions of lives." Eleanor nodded, but she was looking out the window at Earth. She could see clouds moving over what might be North America. Somewhere down there was her little house. "I'm glad I could help," she said, "but I am ready to go home now." "Just one more day," Olivia said. "The Commonwealth wants to record more of your music, and the doctors want to fix your hands before you go home." Eleanor agreed, though she was getting tired of the space station. It was too big, too bright, and the air smelled strange. That afternoon, she was taken to a room that looked like a doctor's office, but with strange machines she had never seen. A being that looked almost human, except for its green skin and 4 eyes, showed her to a comfortable chair. "This will not hurt," it said in a voice that sounded like it was underwater. "Just rest your hands on the table." Eleanor did as she was told. A soft blue light came from one of the machines and covered her hands. It felt warm and tingly. "The light is finding all the places that hurt," the green doctor said. "It will fix the bones and make new tissue where you need it." Eleanor watched, amazed, as the blue light worked. She could see her knuckles, which had been swollen for years, slowly returning to normal size. The fingers that had been bent began to straighten. The pain that had been her constant companion for so long began to fade away. "Wiggle your fingers," the doctor said after about 10 minutes. Eleanor moved her fingers. They felt light and free, like when she was a young woman. She could bend them all the way and stretch them out straight. No pain, no stiffness. "Oh," she said softly. Tears came to her eyes. "I had forgotten what it felt like to have hands that work properly." The green doctor seemed pleased. "You can play your sound machine much better now." Eleanor spent the rest of the day in a recording studio. Alien sound experts had set up a piano for her and asked her to play more of her music. With her newly fixed hands, Eleanor could play better than she had in decades. She played songs she had made up for her children when they were small. She played tunes that reminded her of special days with Gary. She played new music that came to her as she sat there. The aliens recorded everything. They asked her questions about what each song meant. They wanted to know how she knew which keys to press. They seemed amazed that she could make up new music as she went along. "Don't all beings make music?" Eleanor asked one of the sound experts, a tall, thin alien with skin that changed colors as it spoke. "Not like you," it said, its skin turning a deep purple. "Some of us make patterns of sound or vibrations that please our people. But none of us put our life stories into our sounds. None of us make others feel what we have felt." Eleanor thought this was sad. "Music is how we share our inside feelings," she said. "It's how we tell each other, 'I have felt this too. You are not alone.'" The alien skin turned a bright yellow, which Eleanor guessed meant it was excited or happy. "This is what we wish to learn from humans," it said. This sharing of feelings through sound. By the end of the day, Eleanor had recorded 12 songs. The aliens had enough music to study for years, and she had been promised that tomorrow, finally, she could go home. That night, in her room on the space station, Eleanor looked once more at her healed hands. They looked younger, smoother. The spots and wrinkles were still there, but the painful bumps were gone. She could spread her fingers wide and make a fist without hurting. She thought about playing her old piano at home with these new, pain-free hands. She smiled at the idea. Maybe she would invite her grandchildren over and play for them. Maybe she would finally teach little Emma how to play, as she had been asking. Eleanor fell asleep thinking of all the music she still had inside her, waiting to be played. Eleanor returned home to her small house on a sunny morning. The special ship from the Commonwealth had landed in her backyard, surprising her neighbors. Frank and Olivia had come with her to make sure she got home safely. "Thank you for everything you have done," Frank said, shaking her hand. His face was full of joy. "You have changed the future for all humans." Olivia gave her a small silver box. "This is a special communicator. If you ever want to talk to us or if you need anything, just press the blue button." Eleanor thanked them and watched as they got back on the ship. It rose into the air without a sound and was soon gone from sight. She went inside her house where her cat Pepper ran to greet her. "Hello, old friend," she said, picking up the cat. "Did Mrs. Johnson feed you while I was gone? You look well." It felt good to be home. Everything was just as she had left it. Her old chair, her books, the pictures of Gary and the children. The house was quiet except for Pepper's purring. Eleanor went to her piano. It looked old and worn, next to the shiny one she had played on the space station, but it was her piano, the one Gary had bought her for their 10th wedding day. She sat down and placed her healed hands on the keys. The music came easily now. Her fingers moved without pain, dancing over the keys. She played for hours, lost in the joy of making music without hurting. Later that day, her daughter Susan called on the phone. Mom, you're on TV. You're all over the internet. Why didn't you tell us you were going to be on a show? Eleanor was confused. What show, dear? There's video of you playing piano on some big stage. People are saying it was for aliens. Is this some kind of joke? Eleanor realized that news of what happened must have reached Earth. It's not a joke, Susan. I did play for aliens. They seemed to like it. Susan was quiet for a moment. Mom, are you feeling all right? Do you need me to come over? I'm fine. Dear. Better than fine. My hands don't hurt anymore. The aliens fixed them. There was another long silence. I'm coming over, Susan said finally. Within an hour, Susan arrived with Eleanor's son, Bill. They both looked worried. Susan hugged her mother tight. Mom, there are reporters outside. They want to talk to you about something called the Commonwealth. What's going on? Eleanor told them everything. About Olivia and Frank coming to her house, about going to the space station, about playing for aliens, about her hands being fixed. She showed them her hands, now straight and pain-free. Bill and Susan looked at each other. Bill spoke first. Mom, this sounds hard to believe. I know, Eleanor said. I would not believe it either if it had not happened to me. Just then, the silver box Olivia had given her made a soft sound. Eleanor opened it. A small light appeared above it, and then Olivia's face was there, floating in the air. Mrs. Wright, Olivia said, I hope you're settling in at home. I wanted to let you know that news of your performance has reached Earth. The President will be making an announcement tonight about Earth joining the Commonwealth. You might get a lot of attention. Do you want us to send someone to help you? Susan and Bill stared at the floating face with open mouths. I think I'll be fine, Eleanor said. My family is here with me. Excellent, Olivia said. Oh, and the Commonwealth Council wanted me to tell you that they've started a music program based on your recordings. Over 10,000 beings have signed up to learn human emotional expression through piano. You've started quite a movement. After Olivia's face disappeared, Susan sat down hard on the couch. Mom, you really were in space with aliens. Bill was looking out the window. There are more reporters coming, and I think that's a government car. The next few days were very busy. Important people came to talk to Eleanor. They asked her about the aliens and what they were like. They wanted to know about the Commonwealth and what it meant for Earth. Most of all, they wanted to hear her play. Eleanor played for them on her old piano. She told them about the aliens who had never felt emotions through music before. She showed them her hands and explained about the new medical help that would be coming to Earth. A week after she came home, Eleanor was asked to play at the White House. The President was signing an agreement with Commonwealth representatives. It was the first official treaty between Earth and other worlds. Eleanor wore her best dress, the blue one she had worn to Gary's funeral. Susan helped her with her hair. Bill drove her to the airport where a special plane was waiting. Are you nervous, Mom? Susan asked before Eleanor got on the plane. No, Eleanor said. It's just playing piano. I've done it all my life. The White House was full of important people. Eleanor was taken to a room where a beautiful grand piano waited. There were cameras everywhere. People from all over the world would be watching. The President spoke first, talking about a new age for humanity. Then, a tall alien with shiny green skin spoke about welcome and friendship between worlds. Then it was Eleanor's turn. She walked to the piano as she had done on the space station. The room was quiet as she sat down. This time, she was not afraid. She knew what her music could do. Now, she knew it could speak across the stars, to beings who looked nothing like humans but who could still feel what she felt. She played a new song this time, one she had written since coming home. It was about Earth, about its beauty and all the people on it. It was about hope for the future and what humans and aliens might do together. As she played, she noticed something odd. Some of the people in the room were making strange movements with their hands. She realized they were copying her, pressing invisible keys in the air. They were feeling the music so deeply that their hands wanted to be part of it. When she finished, everyone stood up and clapped. The alien visitors made their own signs of approval, flashing colors, making soft sounds, changing shapes. The president came to stand beside her. "Mrs. Wright, on behalf of the people of Earth, I want to thank you for opening this door for humanity." That night, back in her hotel room, Eleanor watched herself on the news. She looked small next to the president and the aliens, just an old woman at a piano. But when she played, she did not look small anymore. She looked powerful. Her phone rang. It was Bill. "Mom, you were amazing. And guess what? Emma wants piano lessons now. She says she wants to play like Grandma." Eleanor smiled. "Bring her over next weekend. We'll start with the easy notes." After she hung up, Eleanor went to the window and looked up at the stars. She thought about all the beings out there who had heard her music, who had felt what it was to be human because of her playing. "See, Gary?" she said softly to the night sky. "You were right. I should have played for others all along." 6 months passed since Eleanor first played for the aliens. Earth had changed a lot in that time. New buildings with strange shapes now stood in major cities. These were Commonwealth centers where aliens and humans could meet. New hospitals used alien healing methods to fix problems doctors could not solve before. Schools taught children about other worlds and their people. Eleanor's life had changed too. Her small house now had many visitors. Some were human, music students who wanted to learn from her, reporters who wanted her story, government people who asked for her help with alien meetings. Some visitors were not human. Aliens from many worlds came to hear her play in person. But most days, Eleanor still lived quietly. She watered her garden. She played with her cat. She taught her granddaughter Emma how to play piano. Today, Emma was sitting beside Eleanor on the piano bench. The little girl's fingers moved carefully over the keys. "That's good," Eleanor said. "Now try it a little faster." Emma played the simple tune again. She was learning quickly. "Grandma, when can I play for aliens?" Emma asked. Eleanor smiled. "When you're ready. First, you need to learn how to put your feelings into the music." "How do you do that?" Eleanor thought for a moment. "Close your eyes. Think about something that made you happy. Now play the happy notes." Emma closed her eyes. Her face got serious. Then she played a quick jumping tune that made Eleanor smile. "That's it," Eleanor said. "You're learning." The doorbell rang. Eleanor went to answer it, her steps much easier now with the new medicine the aliens had given her for her knees. A strange being stood at her door. It was small and blue with 8 eyes. Eleanor recognized it as a Malovian, the same kind of alien who had made fun of her before her performance on the space station. "Human Eleanor," the alien said through a small talking device it wore. "I am Ziv. I have come a long way to meet you." Eleanor invited the alien in. It moved with careful steps, looking around her house with all 8 eyes moving in different directions. "Your home is much smaller than I expected for such an important human," Ziv said. "I like small places," Eleanor said. "Would you like some tea?" The alien looked confused. "Tea? It's a drink, but you might not like it." "I have come to ask you something," Ziv said. "Not to drink." Eleanor sat down in her chair, and the alien sat across from her. Emma peeked in from the piano room, eyes wide at the sight of the blue visitor. "6 months ago I heard you play your sound machine," Ziv said. "Before that I thought humans were simple beings, not worth knowing. But your music made me feel things I had never felt." "I'm glad," Eleanor said. "Since then I have studied human music. I have listened to many recordings, but none of them make me feel like your music did." Eleanor nodded. "Every player is different. We all put different feelings into our music." The blue alien's eyes all focused on Eleanor at once. "I want to learn to play like you. I want to put my feelings into sounds." This surprised Eleanor. "Can Malovians play piano? Your hands are very different from ours." "I can try," Ziv said. "Will you teach me?" Eleanor looked at the alien's hands. They had 6 fingers each, and the fingers bent in strange ways. "A normal piano might be hard for it to play. We would need a special piano for your hands," she said. "Already done," the alien said. I have brought one. It pointed out the window where a large box sat in her yard. It is made for Malovian hands, but makes human sounds. Eleanor was touched by how much the alien wanted to learn. I will teach you, she said, but you must understand something. The music comes from in here. She pointed to her heart, not just from the fingers. Yes, the alien said. That is what I wish to learn most of all. Over the next few weeks, Ziv came to Eleanor's house every day. The special piano was set up in her living room next to her old one. The alien piano had strange-looking keys that Eleanor could not play, but the sounds it made were the same. Teaching Ziv was not easy. Malovians did not think about music the same way humans did. They did not naturally connect sounds with feelings. Eleanor had to start with very basic things. Think about your home, she would say. How does it feel to be there? Now try to find notes that sound like that feeling. Slowly the alien began to understand. Its playing changed from stiff, correct notes to something with more feeling. Eleanor could hear loneliness in Ziv's music, and wonder, and something like hope. Emma often watched the lessons. She was not afraid of Ziv anymore. Sometimes she would play a tune and Ziv would try to copy it on the alien piano. One day, a call came on Eleanor's silver box. It was Frank, looking excited. Mrs. Right. The Commonwealth is planning something big. They want to hold a concert, humans and aliens playing music together. They want you to be the main performer. Me? Eleanor was surprised. But I'm just one piano player. There are many better ones. Not to the Commonwealth, Frank said. To them, you are the human who showed that music can speak across species. They want you to help choose other human musicians and work with alien musicians to create something new. Eleanor thought about it. She was getting older. Even with the alien medicine, she got tired more easily these days. But the idea of bringing human and alien music together was exciting. I'll do it, she said. But I want to include my student. Frank looked confused. Your granddaughter? She's very young, isn't she? Not Emma, Eleanor said. My alien student, Ziv. The concert was planned for 3 months later. It would be held in a new building in New York that had been designed by humans and aliens together. The round hall could hold thousands of people and had special areas for aliens who needed different air or gravity. Eleanor worked hard with the other musicians. There were humans who played violins, flutes, drums, and sang. There were aliens who made music with light, with their bodies, and with strange instruments humans had never seen before. Ziv practiced every day. The Malovian had become quite good, putting real feeling into the music now. Eleanor was proud of how far the alien had come. The night of the concert came. Eleanor sat at a grand piano in the middle of the stage. Around her were the other musicians, human and alien together. The hall was full. The performance was being sent to screens all over Earth and to worlds across the Commonwealth. Before they started, Eleanor looked out at the crowd. In the front row sat Susan, Bill, and Emma. Behind them were faces she knew, Olivia, Frank, the president, and there were many aliens too, including the Commonwealth Council members. Eleanor thought about how strange her life had become. A year ago, she had been a lonely old woman playing piano only for herself. Now she was about to lead the first concert of human and alien music. She looked at Ziv, who sat at the special piano nearby. The alien gave a sign that Eleanor knew meant it was ready. Eleanor placed her hands on the keys. She thought of Gary, of her long life, of all that had happened. She thought of the future, of Emma and other children who would grow up in a world where Earth was part of something bigger. She began to play. The other musicians joined in one by one. Human instruments and alien sounds came together in a new kind of music. It was not perfect. Sometimes the different styles did not quite fit. But it was real and true and full of feeling. As she played, Eleanor could feel it happening again. That special connection, not just between her and her music, but between all the beings in the hall. They were feeling something together, across all their differences, and she knew then that this was just the beginning.